In the sleepy town of Huckleberry Hill, nestled between rolling hills and meandering streams, lived a man named Theodore. Theodore was an ordinary fellow with an extraordinary penchant for finding himself in the most absurd and comical situations. His friends and neighbors often referred to him as the hapless hero of Huckleberry Hill, for though he meant well, trouble seemed to follow him like a loyal puppy. One sunny afternoon, Theodore was strolling through the town square when he spotted a commotion near the local bakery. A group of townsfolk had gathered, pointing excitedly at something on the ground. Curious, Theodore pushed his way through the crowd and gasped in surprise. There, lying on the cobblestones, was a giant wheel of cheese, Huckleberry Hill's prized possession, lovingly crafted by Old Man Jenkins at the dairy farm. The townsfolk murmured anxiously, wondering how such a precious cheese could end up abandoned in the middle of the square. "I must do something," Theodore declared dramatically, earning a few chuckles from the crowd. "Fear not, good citizens. I shall find out what happened to this cheese and restore it to its rightful place." With that proclamation, Theodore set off on his quest, his determination matched only by his obliviousness to the amused glances exchanged by the townsfolk. He began his investigation by questioning bystanders and inspecting the cheese for clues, crumbs, faint paw prints, and a suspiciously cheesy aroma lingering in the air. His first suspect was Mrs. McGillicuddy's mischievous tabby cat, Sir Fluffington, known for his love of dairy products and sneaky behavior. Theodore interrogated Sir Fluffington with a stern gaze and a wagging finger, but the cat merely blinked lazily and stretched out in a sunbeam, showing no signs of guilt. Undeterred, Theodore turned his attention to Old Man Jenkins himself, whose dairy farm was the source of the legendary cheese. Old Man Jenkins, a grizzled old farmer with a twinkle in his eye, greeted Theodore with a hearty laugh. "Well now, Theodore," he chuckled, wiping his hands on his overalls. "I'm afraid I haven't the foggiest clue how that cheese ended up in the town square. Must have rolled away while I was tending to the cows, I reckon." Theodore scratched his head, pondering the mystery. Just then, a gust of wind swept through the square, causing the cheese wheel to wobble precariously. With lightning-fast reflexes, or perhaps sheer luck, Theodore lunged forward and caught the cheese just before it tumbled into the fountain. The townsfolk erupted into applause, cheering Theodore's heroic save. Theodore blushed furiously, his cheeks turning as red as the ripest tomatoes in Farmer Brown's garden. "I knew you could do it, Theodore," Mrs. Appleby exclaimed, clapping her hands enthusiastically. Flushed with pride and embarrassment, Theodore beamed at the crowd. Thank you," he said modestly, trying to hide his relief that the cheese was safe and sound. As the sun began to set over Huckleberry Hill, Theodore returned the cheese to Old Man Jenkins, who accepted it with a grateful nod and a pat on the back. The townsfolk gathered around, sharing tales of Theodore's daring rescue and marveling at his newfound reputation as the cheese savior of Huckleberry Hill. From that day on, Theodore became a local legend, celebrated for his unintentional bravery and uncanny ability to stumble into and out of sticky situations. And though he may never fully understand how he earned the title of Hapless Hero, Theodore embraced his role with good humor and a heart as warm as a freshly baked loaf of bread from the town bakery. And so, the tale of the hapless hero of Huckleberry Hill spread far and wide, a reminder that sometimes, even the most ordinary of us can find ourselves in extraordinary circumstances, cheesy or otherwise.